Just had my passport photo done. It's going to be something like this. Now the other day I was playing a game and I came across a question that was like, would you rather have a house full of plants or a house full of pets? And I said plants. Mainly because, and I didn't say this at the time, but I had recently one of my sisters had a cat that passed away, so and it was fresh in my mind that, it's like, wow, geez, there's a lot of other considerations, but I mean, you're going to have a house full of this, a house full of pets. That how many of them are going to go missing? How many are going to walk away? How many are going to die? Eventually they're all going to, and I'm not sure whether I have a particularly special tolerance for that kind of thing. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. I managed to sort of dial down any kind of extremes for the most part. Especially when you have to interact with people. You have to. If you have a particular fear, you're going to get into an elevator with somebody that looks like they might be dangerous, or you've heard this or heard that about what's going on in this area. And in fact, without naming any particular culture or anything, as soon as I moved into this building, like 20-some years ago, then there was a story circulating about somebody being hacked up with a machete in one of our elevators. So I'm going into the elevator and I'm seeing somebody that looks like, they might have a machete somewhere, and I had to sort of dial that down so that I'm not just peeking or giving a sense of panic but yeah, I'd gotten into that habit of just get your mind around that. How do you why do you not seem nervous? And that's something that now bothers me, but for the most part it's been something handy for me. Just sort of dial down, be the lukewarm water in a situation, it also means though that when I'm interacting with people in a job or whatever setting and have to get to know people according to where I'm stationed, in a sense, there certainly will be women that I'm getting along with or having a good conversation like this woman. Now, there's maybe an imaginary barrier there that, as far as I'm concerned, maybe it doesn't exist. I don't know, but if I want a good reality check, and I can bash my head into that barrier, but for the most part, it's like you don't know, you're not going to know that there's no, let's say, chemistry or fireworks or whatever between you and that person, because that's the function of where you are. Even when I'm making a film or something like that, of course you're going to try to find the right charismatic people that you're going to be working with, and especially on screen. And you might like even a woman or two that might be involved in the project, but you are focused. You're focused on something else, and that's you've taken yourself out of the equation. That's what I do most of the time. Now, later on in life, I'm looking back at things and saying, gee, I took myself out of the equation a lot, and now that I'm way out of the equation, there you go. I'm not sure that's 100% a great thing. It might be. There are some advantages to it, but because I have to be not really tunnel vision. That's kind of a pejorative way of looking at it. But I do like the joy that I have in doing anything is kind of, especially if it's like making a film or something like that. I do like to solve certain problems in advance and know why I'm there, It's not going to be just something that is working with people and seeing what they come up with and just recording something. Right now, this is like, a camera might be a recording device, and that's it. But for me, I mean, I really enjoy hearing about and seeing examples of film syntax and that kind of thing, and what's the grammar of film in a sense, and how the frame should be used for this or this or this, and how to get from here to here, when should the frame be active when you're making a cut, and that kind of thing. But if I say that too often, even on a message board, and somebody's having a little discussion and trying to decide, who are the directors you respect more than others. I'll make a statement like, well, if film is language, the most fluent is maybe Spielberg, But, and I might not necessarily like the content of every film that he chooses to do, but if you're talking about the direction, that's, that's where the proof is in the pudding, sort of thing. And even people, I'll be arguing with someone until I'm blue in the face, and then eventually, casually, as if it's not really important, oh yeah, well, he is the best for that. Yeah, he's the best for framing and cutting and staging. And, yeah, but they have maybe a priority that they're only really interested in the content, or the theme, or whatever, that kind of thing. And I don't know. I don't think I don't worry about that too much. But when it comes to engaging people, I mean, there are some people I've always wanted to have somebody with me, working with me, that has a certain energy and a certain personality, and people get along with that person. And then maybe that's less pressure on me to actually have a personality. I don't know, but when it comes down to trying to interact even with women or something, it's like Bill Maher had an interesting TED Talk sort of parody on his show, where he was trying to show how men have to learn to have game. One of the comments that he made was, how do you know you have too many action figures? His answer,
I got the down deep in
you
the
have an
bar.
action figure. And I sort of look around on my desk. The Justice League is all represented almost, and let me see, I have a Mork, and a couple of characters that should not be children's toys anyway. Travis Bickle and a Dexter, but and some other ones that I've managed to hide, in case anybody happens to come around. But anyway, I don't have any answers. It's funny, you can have an internal monologue about how to solve the world's problems, and at the end of it, it's going to devolve one way or another. Once you actually open your mouth and go from the purity of that thought, whether it's an idea for something, a story, or a political opinion or something, it has to go through stages of, I'm going to say, stages of ugliness, or stages of imperfection, before it gets to something that's maybe functional, or something that holds together. Somebody has said the first draft of anything is shit. That means almost everything that I'm going to be writing on the internet is going to be shit. Anything that I'm going to improvise is going to be shit. This conversation, this video.